Is it that time in which you feel like you really could use a metabolism boost? Right? Whether it's the time of the year or the time in your life in which you feel like things are slowing down and you're trying all these different ways to be able to get your metabolism back to somewhat of what it used to be like when you were younger, but it just seems like whatever you're trying, it's not working. I'm Gaia, I'm the Magnet Lady, and I have been through all sorts of ups and downs in terms of my metabolism throughout my life, but I have found wonderful ways in which we can easily recover our metabolism and get things going and moving again. And some of those things are just natural. We have them in our kitchen, we have them around the house, and we think, wow, is it going to take some kind of magic pill? Usually those magic pills end up being harmful to the body and have serious repercussions in the long run. So I highly discourage people from trying to do something that's going to be a quick fix, right? Because there are things that we can do that are natural, that will help move our metabolism, and that are going to only add to our health and not take away from our health. So let's jump through this. We're going to wait for some more folks to pop in, and then we are going to get started. All right, and here we go. Hi, Monica. So, eggs. That's right, eggs. Having eggs in the morning will help speed up our metabolism. Now, eggs have gotten a bad rap for many years, especially in the 90s and early 2000s. They would tell us that, eggs added to cholesterol. Well, the truth of the matter is eggs are loaded in iodine, and iodine in natural forms can help activate our thyroid and move our metabolism. So, got to throw away these ideas that eggs are bad for us. Eggs are one of the most easiest forms of protein that help build muscle and strengthen bones, but at the same time, the iodine that they introduce helps move our metabolism faster. So eggs are wonderful. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And if you can get them organic, even better. Now, since I mentioned iodine, kelp also has iodine, so getting some seaweed or adding seaweed to your diet can also help activate. What we have to be careful of is taking iodine in supplement format, because we don't know where they're sourced from, and two, too much iodine could be toxic for the body. So it's better to get it in your food, in things like eggs and kelp or seaweed. And then we have spices, chili, hot chili. Now, a lot of people say, I can't do spice because it gives me acid. Well, the truth of the matter is that it's not the spice that's giving you acid. It's the parasites that are in your gut esophagus area that don't like the spice that are causing the acid. And so spice, especially in the morning, will help activate our metabolism and speed it up. So spice is something that's loaded in vitamin C, therefore it's adding antioxidants to our body, but it also helps to clean our blood. Cayenne pepper is a blood purifier. So when we think about the things that slow down our gut, well, all these germs that we accumulate over a lifetime that start to live in our body, not just in our gut, but they slow things down. And so when you add, let's say, cayenne pepper to, your drinks or your food, you help move your metabolism faster. So these are a couple of natural things that we have around the house that we can just buy at the supermarket. Of course, organic is always better, and that are going to help move our metabolism. Now, some of the things that I find that also help move our metabolism and help us burn fat are things like apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar in the morning, just a couple tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. If it's too sour for you, then you can dilute it in a little bit of water. If you want to make it like an energy drink, which will also activate your metabolism, you add some natural honey, not that sugar stuff, because there's a lot of fake honeys that are just sugar. So get some natural honey, add a tablespoon of honey, couple tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and use that to move your metabolism and also to burn fat and to give you energy. Wonderful, like morning energy drink to have. And so apple cider vinegar. Now, got to be careful, because some of the most popular brands, especially the biggest popular brand that you're going to see in all of the supermarkets, is now using genetically modified apples. So be careful. That's the word, that really, really popular brand of apple cider vinegar. So go with the smaller mom and pop apple cider vinegars instead of the very popular big brand ones. Okay? And my favorite, of course, is magnets. I absolutely love to use magnets, because we can use magnets anywhere in our body, like on our thyroid, to activate our thyroid, to move things, to also help clean our liver. So we can use magnets, put them on our liver. And I don't mean refrigerator magnets, but I mean therapy grade magnets. And, if you need a point of reference, you can check out my website, themagnetlady.net, on magnets and also some really good supplements. But magnets applied to the thyroid, applied to the liver, applied to the kidneys, will help us assimilate nutrients and help clean up our blood so that our body is functioning the way it needs to be functioning instead of slowing down. Sometimes we think that metabolism slowing down is a function of age. It may be a function of time, but maybe less so a function of age than we think. The thing is that over time we accumulate more junk, crud in our filters of the body, like our liver and our kidneys. So if we clean those up, then our liver and our kidneys start to work the way they should work, and therefore we don't retain water, and therefore we're able to process foods better, and they stop kind of adding to so much weight on the body, right? So I would say that the germs and the toxins and the crud that we accumulate that kind of keep our kidneys and liver from functioning the way they should are more of an impediment than our age is, right? I'm 53 and I'm weighing almost what I weighed in high school or college, probably less than college, because in college I gained a lot of weight, but closer to my weight in high school. And that wasn't something that I arrived at overnight. It took understanding how the human body works, the things that slow our metabolism, and learning how to eat and what really helps versus what are the gimmicks that may help for a little bit, but then slow everything down. And then, of course, outside of magnets, therapy magnets, enzymes. Enzymes are amazing. People take probiotics all the time thinking that they're going to fix their gut health probiotics, but the truth is that they don't always work. But enzymes, getting some good enzymes, will not only help move the toxic waste out of our body, but help our body absorb nutrients. And at the same time, enzymes will then communicate with our glands like our thyroid and other glands in our body, helping to move things. And our pancreas, which is a big, big organ, is the one that's in charge of creating enzymes. But if we've, had heavy metal accumulation in our body, we've, eaten a certain way for many years, even though we're eating good now, we've still accumulated stuff. And so enzymes help break down the junk, move it out of the body, and help us absorb nutrients and activate our thyroid and other things. I've had people just with a few biomagnetic sessions and take really good enzymes, and they're able to get off thyroid medications. I mean, really, truly incredible stuff. So, these are not gimmicks. These are like life-changing, transformational, small, easy things that you can do to recover your metabolism and get your body healthy again and burn energy. The other thing would be, drinking lemon water. Something so simple like lemon water helps to clean our filters too, like our kidneys and our liver. And if we keep those organs clean, then things are going to move through our body faster, and we're going to metabolize our food better. And so all of that helps us be able to use the energy in our food and eliminate the waste that we don't need, so that it doesn't accumulate in our body. And of course, yes, exercise is going to help boost our metabolism and help us, use energy more effectively. But I know plenty of people who exercise all the time and their metabolism is still very slow. So hi Sarah. So I highly recommend that just some super easy recommendations, like taking good enzymes, drinking lemon water, adding apple cider vinegar to your morning regimen, and eating eggs and eating we said eggs, and we said spices, peppers, right, are going to help us move that metabolism and start looking and feeling younger again. And I was going to say something else in terms of our metabolism, and it's like it'll come back to me. But in the meantime, the other thing we want to do is like jumping type exercises. So even getting on a like an indoor trampoline can help move our lymph, and our metabolism slows down if we accumulate a lot of toxins. And so if we move our lymph by jumping, whether it's jumping jacks or getting on a trampoline and jumping on it for 10 minutes, is going to move our lymph, which is going to help eliminate toxins that are impeding our body from, being healthy and functioning the way it needs to function. And let's see, the other thing are like tapping. We can tap on our thyroid, just index and middle finger, and you can tap on your thyroid to help activate it. You can tap on your thymus gland to boost your immune system. You can tap anywhere in your body to move things, like on the belly button, which also helps to boost circulation. And I'm trying to, and the pituitary gland here, because our pituitary gland has to do with hormones, and sometimes hormones also play a role. Hi, Indira. All right, so in summary, and I wish I could remember what I was going to say about, oh no. Okay, so we talked about magnets and how magnets can help boost our thyroid. Therapy magnets can boost our thyroid, clean our liver, clean our kidneys, and we can use them on our pituitary gland as well. And then we can, not that the gland is here, but this is where we apply magnets for that. It's somewhere in the middle of our head. And apple cider vinegar, we talked about tapping and eating eggs and eating spicy peppers, like cayenne pepper is probably the best one, because it's also a dewormer. It's an anti-parasitic. So when we have something like that, it really kind of helps move things along and help us burn fat. And then there's things like the macas. Maca, there's different types of maca, but maca helps to balance hormones, and at the same time, so it helps our endocrine system. When our hormones are in balance, all of the glands in the body communicate with each other, and so it can also help activate our thyroid and activate our metabolism. So maca is something that you can put into your drinks. It's a root, but it's made into a powder, and so you can add it to your drinks, and it helps digestion, but it also helps with balancing enzymes, which has an effect on our metabolism. And then moving our lymph. And I wish I could remember the other thing that I was going to say, but I can't at this moment. So I'm going to put it into the comments after this live. But if anybody has any questions, specific questions on your metabolism or thoughts, please, share them in the chat, and I'm happy to answer your questions. We're going to hang out for a little bit more before we head out. So again, metabolism is not necessarily a function of our age, but more a function of the things that we've accumulated in our body. And when we know that we can clean our body up, then we can definitely speed up our metabolism in a natural way. All the metabolism does is that when it's functioning correctly, it helps us use the energy from our food and move it so that it becomes energy instead of building fat. When it's slow, then it accumulates as fat. When it's moving, it helps us burn that energy from food, and so we can become fit, right? And so magnets on kidneys, magnets on liver, magnets on thyroid, magnets on pituitary gland, tapping on any of these areas, drinking lemon water, and I am going to be having a webinar next week on how to get unbloated. So stay tuned. My webinars are free. Visit my website, themagnetlady.net. I also have a training later on in June on how to lose weight and keep it off using biomagnetism. So more to come. Thank you for joining me today. Again, if you have any questions, you can also private message me on Instagram, and I am happy to answer those questions for you. You may want to also visit my website for some recommendations in terms of good supplements and a bunch of articles on my blog. So thanks for joining me today. I'll see you again.